Alright, this is part 2 of film scores. We left out another one of my personal favorites from that last bunch, Buster movie with, of course, Phil Collins, who's was actually a childhood actor before he joined Genesis. So he's a real natural. He's a great actor, actually. And can't leave this one out. Now we're getting into some of the not so favorite but still very valid film scores. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band was redone by the Bee Gees, and Peter Frampton was on it. It kind of buried them, actually. That album, I don't know if that was a good career move for them all, but nonetheless, we have a disco funk pop version of Sgt. Pepper's. It's worth going in and checking out. There's some really good songs on it, actually. Neil Diamond with Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Apparently Richard Bach didn't like the movie, or he didn't endorse the movie. I don't know. Check that out yourselves. But nonetheless, I really like the film score by Neil Diamond, who's a great songwriter. This is Endless Love, and original soundtrack for that was Diana Ross and Lionel Richie are on that. The music we're playing right now is actually Gary Newman Dance. And then this is, I gotta ignore that, that's my neighbor, I'm gonna get him later. This is Cocktail. Don't know this movie very well. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen it. There's a young Tom Cruise. And I'm gonna leave that out because I don't even really know that one. I don't know that movie. Everybody knows this movie though, Footloose, which had a great film score. Beverly Hillbillies. I put that in there because my daughter loves the Beverly Hillbillies. Another album my daughter would probably really love. Back to the Future. That's a pretty rare little album to get on vinyl. I'm just going to whip right through these real quick. There's a whole stack. Thank God It's Friday. That was a great movie. It was kind of like the lesser known version of Saturday Night Fever. Not quite as good as a movie, but film score's not as good either, but it's wickedly funky with the disco queen Donna Summers on that. This is called Evita, and it's an Andrew Lloyd Webber production with David Essex. I'm going to leave that in the pile. I want to listen to that one. I don't know that one very well. My next door neighbor loves this album, Midnight Cowboy. And next one we're going to play or show is Urban Chipmunk. And you know, that's like the Chipmunk version of... That was not really a movie. That's a Chipmunk version of Urban Cowboy. I just had to show that because it's so cute. An Officer and a Gentleman, which I believe... I was going to say had some Phil Collins on it. Or it's got Jennifer Warnes and Joe Cocker. Lift Us Up Where We Belong. You know, everybody loves that song. This is a really cool album. I'm going to listen to this again today. This is called Patty Hearst. Don't know the movie very well. I've never seen the movie. I like the music. A lot of these albums, I've never even seen the movie. I believe I've seen this movie. And it's a real good movie, actually. I don't remember it too well in this moment, but St. Elmo's Fire has some... I think David Foster might be on that album. Rain Man. Rain Man. That's a great movie. Tom Cruise once again. Dueling Banjos from the soundtrack from the movie Deliverance. I've never seen that movie either. I like the music. Diva. My neighbor gave me that album. I don't even know that one. I've never heard it. I'm going to put that in the listening pile. This is another... I was going to say maybe I haven't featured him yet. Dustin Hoffman. Phenomenal actor. Great actor. And that's an early movie by him. It's called Kramer versus Kramer. It's a healthy dose of melodrama. suffered enough of that in my life, so I'm not going to go into what that movie's about. This is called Lady Hawk, and once again, I don't know the movie. I have no idea what that movie's like. And there's another movie in there, movie soundtrack called Tess. I don't know that one very well. I like this album so much. I got 2 copies. If anybody ever gets a chance, and they ever buy it with the 45, this is really cool. This is the funkier disco type version of the Close Encounters main theme. Phenomenal movie. I didn't know till recently that this film score, there's a scene right here where the spaceship lands. Yeah, it's a great album cover. And I didn't know it till recently, but the ARP 2500, I think it was. I always get them mixed up. Maybe it was the 2600. The ARP 2500, I believe it's called. Pete Townsend had one. Was featured in this movie. I have 2 copies of that. And of course, now that we've got John Williams, this is a little bit more rare. Star Wars. Luke, I am your father. There we go. Got a couple copies of this. Out of Africa. Great film score and a really good movie. Blitzomania, starring Roger Daltrey. I don't know that movie. Guess I should leave it in the listening to pile because I don't know it. I'll give you reviews on these when I know it. I know this movie. This is a great movie. My next door neighbor loves that movie. The Big Chill. And here's Urban Cowboy. Let's get this one back out here. With its companion, Urban Chipmunk. Urban Chipmunk is really cute. Have a look at this. Very cute album. Urban Cowboy. By, please excuse the autofocus on my camera. I don't know, this camera's kind of glitchy. One of the records is missing from this album. I don't know where it went. It's a big heartbreaker for me because it's got the title track. And that record's missing. So, FM. That was a great movie. I like that movie a lot. Arthur, with, who's that guy who was in that? Dudley Moore. Gotta get through these a little faster. Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal was a great movie. Caddyshack. Tucker. Never saw that movie. On Golden Pond. I only got it because Dave Grusin, one of my favorite jazz composers, did the music for that. I've never seen the movie On Golden Pond, although I must say, I've seen this movie, and this movie kicks ass. That's a great movie, The Rose, with, of course, Bette Midler. Amadeus, Rock Me Amadeus. Everybody knows that's a great movie. Here's a movie called Once Upon a Time in America. That's a great cover. Never seen that movie. Pretty in Pink. I think I've seen that one. John Paul Jones from Zeppelin did Scream for Help. It's not a really strong soundtrack. I don't like it as much as the Death Wish 2 one. Never seen the movie. Rocky 3. I've seen that movie. Xanadu. I don't believe I've ever seen that movie. Why have I not seen Xanadu? Xanadu's got to be good. I have seen this movie probably 100 times now. Woodstock. This is the second Woodstock. And the original first Woodstock album. If I had more time, I'd show you the inner sleeves. It's kind of cool just to have a look at this one here. There we are. Take you back to Woodstock. They were right on stage looking out to the audience. Getting down to the bottom of the pile. Streets of Fire. Streets of Fire. I don't think I've seen that movie. Maybe I have. It's hard to say. I can't remember. Streets of Fire is a great soundtrack. Fame. I've seen the TV series. It's really good. Everybody knows that. Witness, which is another, or should I say, another film score by Maurice Jarre, who did The Year of Living Dangerously. And that's starring, of course, Harrison Ford. Endless Love, with Diana Ross, Lionel Richie do the music. Somehow I feel I've already shown that one, but I don't think I did. Oh well, excuse me folks if I have 2 copies of some of these. All That Jazz, That was a great movie. I think I've seen the movie. Maybe it was the jazz singer that I saw. I've never seen All That Jazz. That's got to be a great movie. Here's a classic, Miami Vice. Kind of a deviation. That's actually a TV show. Reds. I don't know that movie. I'm going to listen to this. That's going to be a good film score. I bet you it's really good. Out of Africa. I've already got that. You already showed you that. And that's it, folks. That wraps up. I've got more film scores on CD, but I'm going to show them. This is just a strictly vinyl show. As you can see, the vinyls behind me. This is my cherished vinyl collection that I spent my whole life building. Believe it or not, that's just part of the collection. This stretches out into the rest of the apartment. Sign off, folks. Hope you enjoyed that little film.